Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zadora. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Weather's good.
Oh, it's been a great week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful fall.
A little bit of rain, a lot of sunshine, but not too hot.
Yep. No humidity.
The only part there's been a little humidity. You know, when the
Well,
dew is, when you can watch the dew drip
flock.
off the grass leaves in the morning, it's been pretty humid. But, yeah, the only thing that I don't like about it, it's getting dark awful quick.
Oh, yeah. And it's getting light awful late.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really see the difference in the time of the shrinkage of hours in the
I
day.
was out mowing the other evening, and at about 7:30, my wife calls, says, it's getting dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Street lights are coming on, Bobby.
Finish.
You got to come home.
I got to finish. Yep. As a kid, and you're probably the same way up in Illinois, growing up as a kid, when the street light come on, it was time to head
That's
to
right.
the house.
That's right.
Yeah. Did you go through any of that with your folks?
Oh, sure. You push it as long as you can. Well, I was over down by, and no, you got a time. You be back here.
What was the indicator that it was time for Bobby Z to get home?
Streetlights were one of them. And just, there's a certain darkness that it was, streetlights could be on for, sometimes they'd kick on a little early, but generally there was time. But then, the parents would stick their head out the door and yell for you. And it was like it got passed down.
I was just going to say the same thing. I'll never forget. We lived next to my grandmother, which is common.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We lived next to my grandmother. My mom would yell out, "Boys, time to come in." And then Grandma would yell out, because I have an uncle that's only 4 years older than me, "Time to come in." Well, 4 houses down, you'd hear, "Time to come in." Everybody, and they're only yelling for their own kids.
Yeah.
But
it's
somebody
the same
starts
herd
the chain.
is coming
Yeah,
back.
somebody starts the chain, and all of a sudden you see all the bikes rolling up the road.
It's like a human repeater system.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Dun, dun,
That's
dun,
right.
dun, dun.
Yeah, and it's just awesome. Family life, the way it was in the 60s, is not what family life is today.
Oh, no. No.
I remember the 5 o'clock whistle. The local fire department would lay off a nice long 5 o'clock whistle to let everybody know that, hey, if you're going to go in for dinner, you better
It's dinner time.
get in, get cleaned
Yeah.
up, And those things that you remember from your past, I always joke around, Mountain Home's not Mayberry anymore, but it's the next best thing.
Yep.
And you know what? It still is.
When the whistle goes off at noon,
it's time
it
for
just
lunch.
kind of reminds you that.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
lunchtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's we live in a unique area of the world, and it's kind of the melting pot for all the different folks that come in here.
Yes, sir.
You being in the real estate business for the last nearly 20 years,
Yeah, pushing it.
you've seen some changes,
Oh, dramatic.
good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
You've seen them.
Right, and you roll with them and you survive them, and that's
And we deal with folks wanting to come here and make changes to the way we have lived. We've been here since 72. The way we live and the way we do things. And luckily, the way we do things continues to last.
yes, and I think it will continue that. With this, I had a guy tell me the other day, I heard Hillary Adams say that we're going to turn this into Fayetteville. I saw Hillary yesterday, and I told him that. He says, "You get that guy and you put him in your car and you drive him to me." Physically, logistically, there's just we just can't do that. We can't turn into Disneyland here. We're just not set up for it. It's just physically impossible to do that. There's going to be some changes. Of course there's going to be, but there are going to be changes, ideally, that we can control them of sorts by making sure that we get businesses here that are good for the community. We're not going to get any big smokestack industries. We don't have the infrastructure for that. We're going to get more restaurants, more different shops and things like that are going to come in because we're a tourist town. That's where it's all based on tourism. All the tax money and everything that comes in is based on tourism. And some of those tourists come and go, "Hey, this is pretty nice." Pick up a real estate book. Call the Z Team. I like it here. We had a great time. We were there for a week and we had a great time.
Find me a house.
What's the real estate market like there? How are things going?
Back in the 70s and the 80s when they started the 412 expansion and turned it, in a lot of places, it's a divided highway. In some areas, it's still 5 lanes where they couldn't do the divided. I remember as a young adult, people saying, "Oh, that's just going to ruin our area. It's going to ruin our area. It's going to kill us. It's going to grow so fast. It's going to kill us." You know, those are the same people today that will tell you, "Boy, that what used to be a 5-hour drive is now only 2.5 to 3.
sure.
It sure made it nice."
Yeah, sure.
And you know what? There's still farms on both sides of that road going back and forth.
See, and we tell people that when we're dealing with people, you know, how far things are, you know, and so you got to go up to Branson or Springfield to do big shopping type things, but it's a nice drive. You're not fighting traffic the whole way. You're not looking at bumpers the whole way. You're looking out at the cows and the horses and the fields and the different colors and things like that. It's a pleasant way to spend an hour and 15 minutes or whatever it takes. You don't mind.
Yeah.
And that really makes the difference.
Yep. The what ifs. Well, only if. You talk about the only ifs.
You know, people do that. If they, you know, this would be a great place if only you had a whatever, and then you drive a little farther. And yeah, this is really nice, but if only you had a, and like by the time we get to the third, if only, you know, shopping mall, Denny's, whatever it is that they want, it's like stay where you're at, because it's not going to happen. We can't do a Target here. It's not good. We don't have the people to do it. There's a lot of people come through town. I mean, Danny, when she's on, and she talks about the numbers and the different places that people come from and everything else. She talked about the numbers for the football game the other day, you know, against Harrison, and the number of people that come downtown who are who live farther than 20 miles out. There's a lot of people come to this town. Hospital, you know, employment, different things, library, the ASU, everything. They come through, they pass through, they leave some money, and they go back home. Just as I'll leave here and drive up to Branson to pick up something for Bass Pro that I couldn't get over here at Dunham's, and come back and go to a different restaurant. And come back, and it's not a bad drive.
Yeah.
You know? And you come back home to here, nice, safe Mountain Home. Nice, safe Yellville, nice, safe, you know, Cotter. The Ozarks area, we use Mountain Home as kind of the hub because it is, and everything does kind of spin out from that. Different communities, you know, from North Fork, Cotter, Yellville, Flippin, all unique areas and unique schools with different classes, different people going to the different schools and the different types of education that goes on in those schools. That's very important, and it's important because it makes the whole area stronger. You know, it's not just Mountain Home's the king and everybody, all the rest of you is there.
How's the real estate business in our area right now?
It's slowed down some. The 7%, you know, which is just like a starting point for people trying to sell their homes in other markets, is kind of tough. You know, because the prices they've come down some, but they haven't really fallen. And that was what the G had wanted to do right along, was to make them fall. They wanted to bring housing prices back down, make it more equitable, was one of the terms that I had read. It's like, sure, go ahead, get yourself involved in something else that you don't know what you're doing and get that messed up too. And they've done that.
It's not really working out that well for them.
Yeah, no, not at all. But so people who can't sell their houses, I mean, we're dependent on that. I mean, we talked about the vacationers coming and then saying, I want to, you know, I'm interested in finding out more about the area. When they can't sell their house where they're at, and that market has all slowed down. I mean, the market was going crazy. There's still a big shortage of homes compared to 3 years ago. And because of not having as many homes available to choose from, it's kind of slowed up the market, and that's holding the prices up. There's not a lot of supply. There's still a good amount of demand. So that's holding the prices up on the homes. And then you add the difference between a 3% mortgage, a 4% mortgage, and a 7.25% mortgage. That's a big hit. And that's what's slowing people down. Conversely, the best time to buy a house was yesterday, you know, and because is it going to get better? I think the rates will come down. And again, you don't marry the mortgage. You know, you're just dating it. You go out with it for a while, and when they get a chance to change, then that's just what you do.
best time to buy a house was yesterday, but the next best time is today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's true. And we're seeing. I mean, homes are still selling. I mean,
Let's take a look at those
stuff
numbers.
comes up and it goes under. I sold a house for a guy in a matter of a few days, where he had been. He needs to go someplace else, and we're going to make that happen. And it happened in like really short period of time. Stuff that's priced well, ready to go, clean, neat. They're gone. They're gone. And there's still people coming with cash. This week in real estate, there were 53 new listings came on the market. 5 commercial properties, 4 parcels of land, 34 homes came on the market. They ranged in price from $59,000 to $899,000. And of those 34, 5 of them are taking backups. Actually, it's 6. 27 sales this week, 1 commercial property, 4 parcels of land, 23 homes sold. They range in price from $19,000 to $700,000. The average sale price this week was $250,000 with 70 days on market. So that's a pretty quick turnaround on those. Total of 5.7 in residential real estate closed this week. 8 property expired, 35 had price changes, and there's 60 pending waiting to close. Currently, we have 259 homes listed on the MLS. Year to date, there's been 752 sales, residential sales, for $172 million. The average sale price this year is $229,000 with 88 days on market. For 2022, there had been 858 homes that sold for $187 million. The average sale price was $219 last year, so that's $10,000 difference. So it gives you an idea of the pressure on the market with supply and demand. With 81 days on market. In 21, there had been 897 sales with an average sale price of $195. In 2020, there had been 809 homes had sold with an average sale price of $162. And in 19, pre-COVID, that was 794 homes had sold for $149,000 was the average sale price then. So, I mean, you can see the pressure on people that wanting to come here bought up a lot of homes, and there were a lot of homes that sold that had been rentals and stuff like that. Guys who had, 15, 20 rentals, when they saw what they could get for them, we'll sell these.
Yeah.
And they sold those off, and a lot of those were starter homes at first, but the prices just kept coming up and up. People saying, "Well, I'll take anything, just get me there," and that was what got them into the market here and into getting away from where they were. That was the biggest thing.
What seems to be the biggest draw to our area? Price? Location?
Location, price, 3 rivers, 2 lakes. I mean, the people from the west that come here and see that White River just rolling down, where does that go? And seeing, sprinklers and seeing water being used, go by the lakes and seeing the amount of water in the lakes and stuff. That's really like, wow. Colorado has gone to putting a meter on your well because you think that's your water. They say, no, that's Colorado's water. And you're going to pay by the gallon as it comes out, or 100 gallons, however it is. They got them set up, but they're metering the wells. Things like that, the constant intrusion.
Okay, now wait a minute. So how much are you going to give me back for when I'm watering my garden that goes back into that well?
Yeah,
because at that point I paid for it. Now it's my water.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
recycling.
That's a subject for later.
Yeah. But those are the kind of things, these insidious little fees and charges that are constantly being added on, and there's a lot of stuff that you don't see. That just is added into your taxes and added into your property taxes, added into your sales taxes. When you buy a cell phone and you pay, fees are added into that. That type of stuff. And they're kind of, I mean, we had some of that here. I mean, we're not pure and clean with taxes. I mean, but when you look at what we're paying for property taxes compared, people come in and they'll go, "You're paying how much?"
Yeah. How do they get you?
Don't get me. Get Linda. 870-405-0793. Check out the website, retiredarkansas.net. We've got the cameras that you see every morning on the weather here, and they're great. When the weather's kind of dicey outside and you see all the lightning and thunder and things like that, turn it on, some great pictures. But call Linda, 870-405-0793.
This has been This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zadora, the Z Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. 870-405-0793 is the number. retiredarkansas.net is their website.
Go Bombers.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back with Friday football here in
Yes,
just
sir.
a moment.